because of affirmative action. Because unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell among Black and brown men. The elements of fascism are rooted in this nationalistic drive for more babies. Missing white woman syndrome. Someone get up there and give a knuckle sandwich to Donald Trump. Trump was frankly MIA or having a cheeseburger and a Coke while daddy was working. Presidency ages you when you do the job. Obama went gray because he was doing the work. Donald Trump looks the same as when he ran because he was playing golf.
Still don't know for sure whether Donald Trump was hit by a bullet.
There are many ways to cheat in an election. And I don't ever put it past Republicans to cheat in election.
And if you're voting affirmatively, gleefully for this, people may not feel so confident in you anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cue the world's smallest violin. Joy Reid has been fired from MSDNC. These are her absolute worst takes that led to her show, The Readout, getting canceled. Here's Joy Reid in classic form telling the lie.
Man, King, you know what, bro? I should get that press pass. Man, somebody send me the link, boy. I'll go ahead and sign that mug right now. Shoot, now I'm gonna go right to DC and start asking all the difficult questions because boy, they're gonna hate me. They gonna hate me, man. What, bro? Well, look. If y'all hate mainstream media, I mean, sure, I'm gonna be much worse. I'm not gonna ask you bullshit questions. I'm asking questions that nobody else want to ask that we all need the answer to.
Lie that she and her party told for years about what's really motivating Trump supporters.
They're voting on race. They're voting on this idea of an invasion of brown people over the border. The idea that they can't get whatever job they want. A Black person got it, therefore drive all the Blacks out of the colleges, get rid of DEI. That is what they're voting on. They're just voting specifically on racial animus at this stage. It isn't about economics. No.
So according to Joy Reid, ending racial discrimination is...
I mean, now Joy Reid. They were letting in immigrants, and due to DEI, they was also turning away. I mean, let's say this: skillful white or Asian employees because of DEI. And well, you know what? Yeah. We're just gonna say DEI. Just stamp it on DEI. Most of these people got their jobs based on the whole DEI and affirmative action, and it's not right. It's not right, especially in the Black community, because for some reason, us having lower standards became acceptable to the point we got people like Joy Reid saying that we should be happy that the white man gave us lower standards while also shit talking the white man. It's like, it really these libs confuse the hell out of me. It's like, F the white man, but they also have a white savior complex at the same damn time. It's like, it doesn't make sense.
Is racial discrimination. Okay, it only got worse from there. Remember when she told her audience that Trump was telling his supporters that these, quote, Blacks are stealing the election and that they, quote, need to do violence to Black people because they're cannibals?
It is calculated, right? I mean, Donald Trump isn't just a doddering fool who happens to be racist. He's a calculated person who is not trying to grow his vote share. He's trying to speak into the id of a particular kind of voter about when he says we have to call out Detroit, Philly, and Atlanta. We have to go into Philly, Detroit, Atlanta. He lost Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Michigan in 2020.
And shout out to my man Mark, just signing off with a baller alert, man. My man is balling out there in Australia. My mate. He says, and Mark says, bye everyone. Have a great night or morning and stay safe. Hey man, I'll see you, mate.
Which is how he lost.
Say that better. My mate.
The election. It's why he's under indictment for attempting to steal those races. What he's telling his voter, his small, his share of extreme MAGA voters, these Blacks are stealing the election. Black Haitians are violent cannibals. Black people.
Bro, I mean, it's not really wrong to say it. Since currently in Haiti, they are kind of eating each other, and there is cannibalism going on. And this, sprinkle a little anarchy on top of that, and you got the current Haitian situation. It's like, yeah.
are the enemy. Black people are going to be responsible if and when I lose, and you are permitted through my language to do violence to them if necessary to stop another peaceful transfer of power, because he understands that he is not winning the election.
But after years of maintaining that Trump was only receiving support among white voters, even though he had record high support among non-white voters, she finally went full TDS and accused Black and brown Trump supporters of being fascists.
Have you noticed how sharply the polls have shifted in Trump's favor over the last couple weeks? With these claims that Trump is surging with Black and Latino voters and leading in every single swing state, according to secret internal polls, despite all the Hitler talk? Yes, this race will be far too close because unfortunately, we do have a fascist groundswell in parts of this country, mainly among white men, let's be clear, but in small pockets among Black and brown men too. This happens to be a global phenomenon as women become more economically independent and seek positions of power.
So because women are economically independent, Black and brown men are now fascists. Nice. Damn. This one's truly a banger. Remember when Joy Reid equated the assassination attempt against Trump to Biden getting COVID?
The question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a
I gotta go back on that, guys. I gotta go back.
iconic
My
photo
bad,
op
guys.
during
My bad,
an
my bad.
active
The audio went off out of nowhere. I do not know how. But shout out my man Hellbat Man. He said your mic went out midway through that rant. Plus, just go to whitehouse.gov/new media to apply. Let's see you there. Hey, I got you, bro. I got you. I'm gonna go ahead and post the application in Discord. And my bad. I was going off a little bit, but hey, let's get back to the point.
Now fascists. Nice. This one's truly a banger. Remember when Joy Reid equated the assassination attempt against Trump to Biden getting COVID?
Question that I have on that. These two men are both elderly. Donald Trump is an elderly man who, for whatever reason, was given 9 seconds to take a iconic photo op during an active shooter situation. Weird situation. We'll figure that out one day. But his survival of that and bouncing.
I always just say she should get sued the same way Alex Jones got sued for denying Sandy Hook is the same way some of these news publications, these news media centers or whatever you want to call them, news companies, they should get sued the same way Alex Jones did. Yo, you denied the shooting of a man who actually died at the Trump shooting. Bro, y'all denied it. Y'all saying, no, it didn't happen. It was all a plot. Bro, somebody actually freaking died. The fact that y'all ain't get hit with the Alex Jones treatment of $1 billion for y'all lying is crazy to me. I mean, y'all did it to Alex Jones. What about y'all? Oh, it's because the left did it. You know, they can say anything they want about people, and it's okay.
Right back and going right to his convention is being conveyed in the media world as a sign of strength. This current president of the United States is 81 years old and has COVID. Should he be fine in a couple of days? Doesn't that convey exactly the same thing? That he's strong enough, older than Trump, to have gotten something that used to really be fatal to people his age. So if he does fine out of it and comes back and is able to do rallies, isn't that exactly the same?
So Joy Reid called an assassination attempt against a presidential candidate an active shooter incident. And right after this, she denied that Trump was even shot.
We still don't know for sure whether Donald Trump was hit by.
Now, if anybody knows the family of that man that got shot, send this to her and tell them that, yo, you better sue Joy Reid for $1 billion. And I know what y'all thinking. Y'all like, damn, is that $1 billion? I'm like, yes, $1 billion. And don't stop until you get everything, every single dollar. Because that's what they did to Alex Jones, and y'all deserve the same thing. I mean, look, they denied that man's death. They denied your family member's death. The same way that Alex Jones got sued for that, for defamation, you should be able to sue Joy Reid. Honestly, all of MSNBC and CNN. Honestly, y'all should be up like a couple billion at the end of y'all campaign.
A bullet, whether he was hit by glass fragments, whether he was hit by shrapnel. We don't have those details. We actually.
Oh, crap. My bad, Zoloff. Oh, okay, yeah, that's why. Okay, yeah, shout out my man Zoloff. He says, shout out Joy Reid. Congrats on the career change. Hey, yo. Oh, shit. I'm sorry, but dog, that's an asshole statement. He's like, yeah, congratulations on the career change at home. Nobody got to hear your ass, or at least until you come in with your own damn podcast. And at that point, oh man, I can only imagine how that's gonna be. Oof. And I always just say, man, but you can never trust a black woman with bald head. I'm like, with a bald head or a low down cut with blonde hair. Bro, this is just let you know you're just in for nothing but hard times, stressful days, and infidelity. I know, right? You're like, damn, infidelity too. Yep, even that.
Actually have no detail from his physician, even though this man is still a Secret Service protected, and president.
Man, shout out my man Hellbat for letting me know I missed Zolof's super chat. He's like, you missed Zolof's super chat, by the way. I like turtles. All right, I like turtles. I like turtles too. The small ones.
Presidential candidate. We knew almost nothing. Why? Why don't we know that much?
So it was an active shooter incident that didn't involve bullets. But at least we can agree on one thing. Why don't we know more about what happened? Why was the intelligence community of the most powerful and wealthy nation on earth not able to crack into a 21-year-old's WhatsApp account? Yeah, you know what? I'm in agreement with you there. And then remember, after the second assassination attempt against Trump, Joy Reid called for violence against him.
And so I think that the people who want the fist fight are the base of the Democratic Party. Democrats want to see.
I'm weak. He says, why does Reid low-key look like Key's mom? I'm weak. It's a stern face. I ain't even gonna lie. Hey, shout out Mama Key.
Someone get up there and give a knuckle sandwich to Donald Trump. That's what they want.
Not long after that classic gaffe, she then projected her violent fantasies onto Trump, saying that Trump will get the military to shoot citizens protesting after the election.
Remember, Mark Esper, who was Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense for a while, told him, no, you cannot shoot American citizens. You can't have the military shoot American citizens. He's going to replace people in the Department of Defense with people who will say you can, and that you can deploy the military against protesters, that you can arrest journalists for reporting things that Donald Trump doesn't like, that sort of thing, right?
I guess all those people at the Tesla dealership better watch out. The military's coming for you. And this is one of my absolute favorites. After years of calling Trump an insurrectionist for not accepting the official result of the 2020 election, Joy Reid, while slamming multiple glasses of wine, suffered a mental collapse on air and accused Trump of stealing the election from Kamala.
They're even talking about stealing an election.
And
it's making me rethink whether I do believe election machines can be hacked, because I've always been like, you can't.
I mean, so now you can believe it. Now that you believe it, now that y'all the losers, now that maybe the election can be stolen now that I've lost. It's a real coming to Jesus moment right there.
Can't hack the election machines, but they're convincing me, I don't know, maybe you can, I don't know.
I mean, to me, in this world, anything is possible. There are all these conspiracy theories out there about Trump and whether or not they cheated. I know you say that they didn't, but I know you kind of have to.
Wait a minute, I didn't say they didn't. What I said is, there is a rational explanation for why Kamala Harris could have lost those swing states and Trump won them. There's a way you can get to those numbers with people staying home or only voting for Trump and not the rest.
The only rational explanation for Kamala losing that bad, losing all 7 swing states, is because she was just that bad of a candidate. That's the only explanation that can be heard or honestly made sense of. Anything else is just pure delusion.
About. I'm saying there's a history of that. However,
let me hear it, because what
I will say is there was absolute voter suppression that took place, and I consider that
the turnout was actually record high. But don't let reality stand in your way.
So
what I'm talking about are these conspiracy theories about Elon Musk, somehow using his tech connections, because I don't want to say genius because we know he's not.
Yeah, he ain't a genius.
But those relationships or whatever, because they just seem too confident. And I know, and I'm not saying it was the voting machines or whatever. It just doesn't add up to me with all the support that she had. And I know that for you, and because of what have Fox and what you do professionally with the network, you can't say it was the machines or something like that. But if you think it was the machines, but can't say, just don't say anything. See, this is what I'm saying.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is there are many ways to cheat in an election. And I don't ever put it past Republicans to cheat in elections because they've been busted too many times.
So her sister's making the point that, of course, the network wouldn't support her accusing Trump of stealing the election. So her hands are sort of tied. She's not able to explicitly say it, but she comes as close as possible right here. By the way, I love how she's such a race huckster that she can't even be in the off hours, not wearing makeup. She's at home. She's just chilling. And she's still wearing a hoodie that says melanin on it. It's just everything's about race with this person. But Joy Reid's comments about the election were particularly particularly hilarious because she called the Kamala Harris campaign flawless for a reason that might surprise you.
And somebody needs to tell Joy Reid, bro, Joy Reid should have been went bald. Like when your hairline start doing this is what happens when you do nothing but hate. This is what happens. You lose hair. You just lose it all just disappears, right? So please, guys, stop all that hating today if you want to keep that long hair of yours. It could happen to you. All you need to do is just start hating like her.
I mean, this really was an historic, flawlessly run campaign. She had Queen Latifah never endorses anyone. She came out and endorsed. She had every prominent celebrity voice. She had the Taylor Swift, she had the Swifties. She had the Beehive. Like you could not have run a better campaign in that short period of time. And I think that's still true.
So the Harris campaign actually went broke from overpaying washed-up celebrities for paid endorsements. Yet Joy Reid thought celebrities should have convinced Americans to do as they're told, and that the celebrity endorsements was the reason why it was a flawless campaign. You can't make this stuff up. Also, I just want to note that Taylor Swift actually didn't come out to any of these rallies. I'm sure she was invited. I'm sure they tried to pay her. And remember how Kathy Griffin actually tried to blame Taylor Swift for Kamala Harris losing the election. Hilarious. This is one of my absolute favorites. Remember when Joy Reid went from saying that Trump is a maniacal dictator, she said it for years and years and years, to immediately reversing course and calling Trump Elon Musk's hapless puppet.
Mark Milley was his Joint Chiefs of Staff chair. John Kelly was his chief of staff. He now wants to put those same people before a firing squad because the moment the autocrat is displeased with you, no matter how loyal you've been in the past, it doesn't matter. Stephen Miller feels safe now, but let him look at Donald Trump sideways one day and he'll be the one Donald Trump is saying should be before a firing squad. Trump looked like he was following Musk's commands. He doesn't just own Trump. He owns every single elected Republican in Washington. Sweet deal for a government contractor who's ineligible to actually be president himself.
I mean, here's the thing, though. They can never substantiate that. It's all fear-mongering. It's all a way to divide the party up and be like, oh, Elon, this is what they want to do in the conservative side. They want to be like, have us going like, well, Elon got too much power. They're kind of right. And then us going like, no, he's just trying to help. They're trying to have us do infighting. And it's not working. We're just honestly seeing how far they're willing to reach just to honestly make themselves look stupid. Or just to make, Donald Trump and Elon look like the bad guy. This is how far they're willing to go for it. And I'm gonna be real with you, it is downright entertaining. I'll give it to him. It's like every time, man, every damn time. Like, come on.
No one elected Trump was frankly MIA, or maybe sunning himself on the patio at Mar-a-Lago, having a cheeseburger and a Coke while daddy was working.
But Joy Reid never actually tried to make sense because her viewers also suffer from stage 4 Trump derangement syndrome. Remember when she said that Trump is a crazy dictator, but that he's also lazy and didn't do anything? That's why he looks so good and he didn't go gray like Obama.
Donald Trump had one job. He had one crisis. He's saying, oh, all of these things were perfect. You had one crisis, bro. It was called a pandemic. And you know what you did? You bollocksed it completely. You did so poorly at managing your sole crisis. The one hard thing to do, the reason he doesn't look old like Biden looks older, the presidency ages you when you do the job. Obama went gray because he was doing the work. Donald Trump looks the same as when he...
Or, he was costing millions of people their lives just so we can get cheap oil. That could also be a reason to go gray. I mean, guilt. He also could have went gray because he was allegedly hiding his sexuality. I mean, not really being yourself is a very stressful life, is it not? That could be causes for, that would cause gray hairs for sure. There's a lot of reasons Obama went gray.
He ran because he was playing golf the whole time. His one job
you think
was
that
to
hair
manage.
color is natural?
But the reality is, he had one job: manage this crisis, and he messed it up so badly that they had to do the stimmy. People love the stimmy. Why did he have to do the stimmy? Because 1 million bodies are in the ground.
It was
because of how poorly he managed an airborne virus.
Wait, so Trump did do the stimulus after all? I thought Jasmine Crockett just said he didn't, and it was the Democrat-controlled Congress. By the way, just a quick digression on that. It was actually Nancy Pelosi that held up the final stimulus, promising it to Americans after the election. Of course, they reneged on that once Biden took office. So they actually held back stimulus from American people. But again, I digress. But this is besides the point. How can you be lazy and a dictator? Do you start to build gulags and then just give up on the construction like the high-speed rail in California? Also, notice Joy Reid's blonde Trump-like wig. She wore it for a long time. Someone actually confronted her about it on the street in New York City.
Do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut or did he steal yours?
Yep.
Cultural appropriation haircut right there.
Yeah, it is funny though. Like I said, the libs be the funniest people who want to talk about white people and all that. Because I'm like, y'all be the same people who are wearing blonde hair though. But you want to talk about black people and all this good stuff and black power, but you have on a blonde wig. Okay, but you want to talk about black people. Okay.
She didn't like that too much.
But this is a significant firing. We'll get into it at the end. I'll tell you my thoughts on it at the end. But Joy Reid has been the openly racist spokesperson for the Democrat Party for quite some time now. She once even said that she only got into Harvard because of a DEI program.
Well, let me just be clear. I got into Harvard only because of affirmative action. I went to a school no one had ever heard of in Denver, Colorado, in a small suburb. I didn't go to Exeter or Andover.
Yeah,
I didn't have college test prep. I just happened to be really nerdy and smart and have really good grades and good SAT scores.
Right.
But you dumbass. Sweetheart, that's the reason why you got into Harvard. It wasn't because you were black. It's because you were honestly smart. I mean, and let's be real. I can believe it. I can believe you were a smart lady, but you just been radicalized. That's all. That's all. Completely radicalized. Like, ain't no saving this one. Oh, we got over 100 y'all here, man. Do me a favor. Double tap that screen or the 3 dots up there in the corner. And if you, yes, you right there, have any suggestions, any question, comments, jokes, $2 and up, we'll go ahead and read it out loud and post to the top of the chat. Any video suggestions? $5 for members, $10 for non-members. Let's go.
Someone came to Denver, Colorado to look for me. A Harvard recruiter flew to Denver, and I met up with her at the Village Inn restaurant and did a pre-interview to get to pull me into Harvard. I was pulled in, and the schools like Harvard and Yale that I got into affirmatively. Yes. And it was literally not saying we're going to take an unqualified person and put them in Harvard. Yes. We're going to take a very qualified person who we would never.
Then you wouldn't qualify as an affirmative action. Wouldn't qualify as DEI. Like, you don't get it. She don't get the argument. She's thinking that, oh, well, just because we bring up DEI, we're talking about, oh, well, we just don't want people of different colors in white spaces or whatever. Or, this is how she would frame it, of course. So it is a bit weird. I don't think she gets it. I don't think she honestly gets what this whole affirmative action argument is based on. Because she didn't talk about nothing about lowering standards or anything. She just made it about, oh, well, just because they're trying to let in more black or Hispanic people, man, y'all mad about it, makes y'all racist. I'm like, no, it's the fact that they lowered the standards for these people, and these people end up failing out because they lowered the standards, and it was pretty much a waste of their damn money, and they could have had a better college experience if they was just to go to the college they actually tested into.
Never know existed and put them in Harvard. That's how I got there. That's how Ketanji got there. That's how Justice Jackson, I should say. Justice Jackson got there. It's how Clarence Thomas got there. Right. But the minute
So DEI was just like affirmative action on steroids. Obviously, the biggest issue with affirmative action is that it doesn't help poor and working class Black Americans. It just enriches a small percentage of already middle class or affluent individuals to help schools and corporations achieve the right optics. It doesn't reverse inequality at all. And obviously, she was middle class, surrounded by wealthy people at Harvard. More poor and working class kids should get the chance to go to a nice school without being rich, regardless of your skin color. This is something she doesn't understand because she's racist and she reduces everyone and everything to skin tones. But this is truly the end of an era. No one can come close to spewing as many vile, racist, and hate-filled rants as Joy Reid. Here's Joy Reid saying that no one should care about victim Gabby Petito because she was white.
If you've been watching the news for the past few days or on Twitter or TikTok, you're probably familiar with the name Gabby Petito, the 22-year-old aspiring social media influencer who was reported missing after her fiance returned from their van life excursion without her. On Sunday, human remains believed to be Petito's were found in a national park in Wyoming. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow to confirm the identity. Now, it goes without saying that no family should ever have to endure that kind of pain, and the Petito family certainly deserves answers and justice. But the way this story has captivated the nation has many wondering, why not the same media attention when people of color go missing? Well, the answer actually has a name: missing white woman syndrome.
If you thought that was bad, here's Joy Reid calling Justice Clarence Thomas of the Supreme Court an Uncle Tom.
If somehow they manage to stumble into the Supreme Court, do any of you guys trust Uncle Clarence and Amy Coney Barrett and those guys to actually follow the letter of the law? No. I mean, it is a completely politicized Supreme Court that you can't just trust that they're going to do the right thing.
Calling other Black Americans an Uncle Tom simply because you disagree with their viewpoint and their politics.
I mean, hey, welcome to the Black community, baby girl. That's all what happens here is you get called for thinking outside the box. Yes. And then they wonder why they think Black people's a fucking monolith, because we judge each other for thinking outside the box. That's why when white people mostly see us, they think that we're liberal retards sometimes because our own community has made us a goddamn monolith. It's like, oh, I'm black, so I must be a liberal by default, and I'm an automatic race baiter. Nothing is outside of race. Everything's about skin color. And if anything bad happens to me, I'm just gonna blame it on, well, skin color, not my own personal character. It can never be me.
Politics is blatant racism, full stop. Every individual, regardless of their skin color, has the freedom of conscience. They get to believe and think whatever they want. That's what our Constitution says. For someone who goes on about Trump trying to shred the Constitution constantly, you'd think she'd know that. But she didn't just do this against Republicans. She did it against Democrats as well. Remember how she talked about Senator Mark Kelly?
And I thought she would go astronaut. Keeping it real. He, to me, would have been the safest, most conventionally safe pick. White, super white, like, mayonnaise sandwich on Wonder Bread, right? From a border state, he could have made a strong argument for her.
So this is after Kamala Harris chose Tim Walz as her running mate instead of Senator Mark Kelly. Joy Reid obviously preferred Kamala Harris to pick Mark Kelly, thinking that Americans are just so evil and racist, apparently including the Democrat base, and she couldn't even talk him up without bringing race into it and insulting him. But that's not even the worst of it. Remember how she and fellow race huckster Michael Eric Dyson talked about Winsome Sears? Winsome Sears is a black woman and the lieutenant governor of Virginia.
They want white supremacy by ventriloquist effect. There is a black mouth moving, but a white idea through the running on the runway of the tongue of a figure who justifies and legitimates the white supremacist practices.
Of the white supremacy look, and this what kills me. Like people who are race baiters, Tariq Nasheed, is like as soon as you disagree with them, you're for white supremacy. I'm like, bro, make that make sense. You're pretty much saying that I favor white people over my own because I disagree with you, or I favor white people over my own because I think that black people shouldn't get reparations and they should actually have to work to honestly free their people, to free their own community financially. I'm just such a white supremacist. I'll take that one to the chin if that's really what it means. All right.
Want white supremacy.
Shout out my man Paradigm Shift sending in $1. Appreciate the support, my man.
So any black American that does not openly affiliate with the Democrat Party, the party of slavery, the party of Jim Crow, by the way, then they are a white supremacist. Okay. Remember this banger? Her infamous comment on white tears.
In America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They can't.
Wow. I mean, damn. White tears are Karens. So as soon as a white person start crying, we shouldn't care why, because they're just Karens. It's like, bro, here's the thing though. Why are we dehumanizing white people? Why are we making it seem like these people do not deserve to be treated as regular people? Like, it does not make sense.
Karen out, and then as soon as it get caught, it's like green waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect, even as the right tries to politicize the idea.
Yes, the Dems started the KKK.
That masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism. They still want to be able to have their tears.
For those who don't know, this was after Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted of all charges after shooting his assailants in self-defense. All of them were white, by the way. Rittenhouse was 17 years old.
Yo, and I remember that Kyle Rittenhouse thing, bro. Why were they trying to frame it? I promise you, this is what they did. They tried to frame it as if he shot a black man and got away with it. That's literally what they were saying. I literally had to go online and look up the facts because I was outraged. I was like, yo, he got away with shooting a black man, he's getting off? No, I found out that he shot three or two people who attacked him, and then they weren't even freaking black. They were white. White. Oh, shit. There was no race crime. It was a made-up race crime. That the libs wanted to push so they can push against the Second Amendment. Ain't that wild? But nice try, though. I'll give it to y'all.
Old, and one of his assailants was a convicted offender for crimes against a minor. Of course, Joy Reid was one of the people to lie about Kyle Rittenhouse and imply that his assailants were black. Then we have this truly deranged take after the election where she encouraged families to break apart over Trump's victory.
People are rightfully alarmed. They have a reason to be alarmed. And if you would vote for that, people may not feel so confident that they're safe with you. This is not crazy. This is legitimate feelings of fear of you and a feeling that you might not be someone they could trust
if this thing goes way south, autocracies go south.
I mean, I know one thing you can trust for me voting for Trump, I got some common sense. Like, I know that. I know one thing you can say about me about voting for Trump is that I ain't 100% LGBTQIA plus. There's a lot of things you could tell about somebody, you know, who voted for Trump. I mean, shoot, let's be real. You know I'm pro-American because I voted for Trump.
Real fast, and things get ugly, and people get asked to do things and turn people in and point people.
And shout out Paradigm Shift. He says, check out Stanford PhD Web3 project, the Pi Network. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about the crypto. We're talking about the blockchain.
Out and
well, hold on. Is Web3 Castro, Web3 part of the blockchain, or is that something completely different?
On them.
Like cancel culture?
And if you're voting affirmatively, gleefully for...
Oh, and shout out Paradigm Shift, man. I appreciate the support, my friend. And shout out, hey, I think I've seen you super chat in before, but either way, though, happy to have you here, man. Happy to have you here.
This, people might, I don't know, may not feel so confident in you anymore. That's real, and you kind of have to live with it. So if you think that you can vote for what people see as their destruction and then demand that they still are cool with you and kiki with you and have Thanksgiving with you, like, I think you're kind of missing the point of what people are upset about. They're afraid. And autocracy and fascism are things that are legitimate to be afraid of.
As if the Democrat Party and the establishment's lies about Trump the past 8 years haven't wrought enough destruction and divisiveness in not just America, actually around the world as well. This is right before Thanksgiving, and she's encouraging families not to hang out together based on how they voted. Wow, I wonder why she got fired. Remember Joy Reid's infamous flip-flop after Joe Biden pardoned his son, Hunter Biden?
The presidential pardon was originally meant to grant the president the power to temper justice with mercy. It was not enshrined in our Constitution so that a dishonorable man could reward his criminal allies, friends, and family for their corrupt practices. I don't have a problem with
salacious. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm so surprised that they fired her right now. No, I'm not surprised they fired her, but I'm so surprised that she never got hit with a defamation lawsuit. Like, bro, all the defamating things she said, all the salacious lies she said on TV and gotten away with, I can see why MSNBC fired her, because they knew it was only a matter of time. Like, this woman has said so much I'm gonna be real with you, things that are on the line of defamation that almost there's so many people that could take this woman to court. So many people. I remember I brought up the example of the guy who the family of the guy who died at the Trump rally. Like, that's one great point of somebody who can come up and be like, yeah, I'm suing you for your life because of defamation. There's the criminal family of Donald Trump. Bro, one of the Trump family members. I'm not a criminal. You're slandering my name. Yo, stop that. Cease and desist. So I can see why MSNBC fired Joy Reid, because she became a liability, a legal one.
With Biden pardoning his son, he should have pardoned them. The crazies are coming, right? But to me, it's like, pardon more.
What's up is down, what's left is right. There's no meaning to anything she says. The people that Trump pardoned in his administration were the victims of lawfare. But remember that Trump never issued a single preemptive pardon. Biden sure did. Did she admit that? Obviously not. Remember when Joy Reid said that wanting to have babies and start a family is fascism?
I do believe that this election is a litmus test for American tolerance for fascism. The elements of fascism are rooted in this nationalistic drive for more babies for the state.
We got about close to 200 y'all in here, man. I appreciate the support, by the way. But go ahead and double tap that screen, like the video, or the 3 dots up there in the corner. I appreciate the support. And if you have any questions, comments, jokes, $2 and up, we'll go ahead and post it to the top of the screen, just like my man Paradigm Shift. Man, hey, appreciate the support, my man. Let's keep it going.
State for a strong man-driven nation and a deep sort of state-based religiosity.
How dare people actually want to have family? How dare them want to have jobs that pay enough so that you could even support a family? Everyone should just be working till they die.
I mean, come on now. The libs, the Democratic Party is the home of the dinks. And what was the dinks? Man, I'm trying to remember. It was something about like dual income, no kids. That's what it was. Dual income, no kids. Dinks. It was literally libs who bragged about having 2 incomes, being able to afford stuff, but having no kids. And then it was all on the premise of them bragging that they can afford more things than a couple, more things for themselves the selfish bastards, than they can within a couple with kids. I was like, so you're pretty much bragging that you two are both selfish bastards and we should all be like you? Huh, funny.
Have jobs that pay enough so that you could even support a family. Everyone should just be working till they die. And remember when Joy Reid quit X, formerly known as Twitter, simply because the platform was refusing to continue censoring conservatives.
Hey guys, so today I finally did something I've been meaning to do for a while. And the reason for doing it and kissing goodbye my 1.9 million followers over there is because I hadn't been posting for a long time. I just didn't want to contribute content once it was purchased by its present owner. But just having it there, I was only holding on to it because I, really didn't want someone trying to take over that name and using it for nefarious purposes. I was a little bit worried about that. And also every so often I would use it to just sort of look at news that was trending and what's happening. And I would just sort of use it as an aggregator. But I just realized that's not really worth it, because in order to do the news aggregation and just look at all, you have to wade through a lot of dreck and a lot of just abuse and a lot of just negativity, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah, you have to see a viewpoint that's different from your own. I know it must hurt your eyes, but make no mistake, Joy Reid really loves censorship. Here she is defending it.
Why would conservatives think fact-checking is biased against them? I mean, what are you sharing if you keep getting fact-checked for false information? Think about it. What were conservatives sharing on Meta that was getting flagged so much? Are they spreading?
Pretty much telling all the truths about the vaccines and everything. Yeah, spreading all the truths about the vaccines and everything else, or a certain situation that was going down. I mean, yeah, that's what they were getting fact-checked on. It wasn't really fact-checked. It was kind of like, man, look, you may be telling the truth, but we're going to put a blanket over it. We're going to take it down, and then we're going to say that we're fact-checking you. It's like, really? If you're fact-checking me, then please show me where in these, medical documents, where in these medical procedures that am I saying this what's wrong? They don't really fact-check you. They just tell you that you're wrong, and then that's it. And here's the thing. When you're on a social media platform, they don't even got to tell you why you're wrong. They can just take it off and just say, F you. I just feel like you're wrong.
False information.
And now for the final juicy receipt. Remember when Joy Reid lied about hackers with time machines faking her tweets?
A community that I support and that I deeply care about is hurting because of some despicable and truly offensive posts being attributed to me. And many of you have seen these blog posts circulating online and in social media. Many of them are homophobic, discriminatory, and outright weird and hateful. When a friend found them in December and sent them to me, I was stunned. Frankly, I couldn't imagine where they'd come from or whose voice that was. In the months since, I've spent a lot of time trying to make sense of these posts. I hired cybersecurity experts to see if somebody had manipulated my word or my former blog. And the reality is they have not been able to prove it. But here's what I know. I genuinely do not believe I wrote those hateful things because they are completely alien to me. But I can definitely understand, based on things I have tweeted and have written in the past, why some people don't believe me. I've not been exempt from being dumb or cruel or hurtful to the very people I want to advocate for. I own that. I get it. And for that, I am truly, truly sorry.
So there's a couple bangers in there. She says cybersecurity experts were not able to find any evidence that the tweets were fraudulent, which is a fancy way of saying that they were her tweets. It was her blog. And then she says, I genuinely do not believe that I wrote them. So they were essentially homophobic tweets. Apparently she mocked homosexuality. She claimed to out people as gay. I guess she called Senator Lindsey Graham Miss Lindsey. So she called him a woman. And then she called Ann Coulter a man. She also called Congressman Charlie Crist Miss Charlie. This is all before 2010 when it was kind of a hack joke to just call a man a woman as an insult. But apparently she also made the post on Twitter, quote, most straight people cringe at the sight of two men kissing. And another post that said, I didn't want to watch the two male characters in Brokeback Mountain having sex. Does that make me homophobic? Probably. She was basically making jokes and statements that sound like a jock or bro humor back in the day. But it really speaks to her character or lack thereof that she couldn't simply own it. But I just want to say one last thing. Remember this moment in history. Joy Reid getting fired after years of accusing the diverse American public of racism, while herself spewing the most vile racism since the Jim Crow era, means the tide is finally turning. Joy Reid.
And oh, what a good thing. Now let's get a little comedic interlude real quick. Shout out to this little cartoon that one of our supporters sent in the chat. Let's see. I think this might have been Dave. But all right, let's get to it.
last show. MSNBC decided to cancel it because they don't realize how much my show has to offer. Like, how will white people know how racist and misogynist they are if I don't tell them every day? Anyway, joining me is another victim of oppression, Don Lemon.
Thanks, Joy. I don't know what you're upset about. There's no way you're as oppressed as I am. After all, I'm black and gay. According to the hierarchy, I'm one tier more oppressed than you.
Don, that's ridiculous. Obviously, I'm more oppressed than you because I'm black and have a Mickey in my pants. You're black and gay, but you're a man. And being a man canceled out the gay.
I didn't realize I was talking to Jim Crow. Being black and gay makes me way more oppressed than you.
But you don't have a Mickey in your pants. Man, I wish there was some way we could settle this.
Oh, what is happening? Where are we? Who abducts a black and gay man? What is this? Jim Crow teleporting?
I'm Joy Reid, and this is my last.
I'm crying. All right. That was actually funny. But all right, though, let's get over to the more serious side of things, man. To the press conference that was pretty much had today. Or actually, you know what? Let's go into a less political. We're gonna go into this Charlie Kirk debate that went down today.
Opportunity won't wait. Don't miss your chance to own the metal powering the.
Don't worry, we're gonna get political, but let's take a little break from it. We just got through Trump signing executive orders. Let's ease our way back into the serious mode. And shout out my man Daniel.